Thanks, Malia. So I'm Chef Tracy, for anybody who doesn't remember, and we're at my home right now with Diamond and her mom, Mrs. Yarborough, who is Diamond's hero. And tell us a little bit about yourself and your mom, Diamond.
I'm 12.
12 years old.
I like basketball.
You play basketball?
I like it.
That's
Basketball. You 16?
my Diamond's small. And I have to explain why we're wearing masks, because we're at my house, and until I social distance at my corner over here, we have a whole hand washing, temperature, mask, glove protocol. I bleached everything down. So we won't be talking through masks the whole time, but right now we will. So we're gonna get started. This class will last anywhere from 1 to 2 hours. And if you can't hear me, my voice projects, but if you can't hear me, let me know. Can you hear me, Malia? You can hear me, good. All right, I'm gonna stand here and take off my mask then. So today we're gonna make pizza, and we're gonna make homemade pizza, because that's one of Diamond's favorite foods to eat and to make with her mom. We're gonna make the crust homemade. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. And Diamond's going to try to lead as much of the class as she can with me off to the side and her mom. So you guys ready to get started? All right. So the first thing I want you guys to do, let me come over to the camera, take my mask off. First thing I want you guys to do, all of you, is they're already good. I want you to wash your hands with soap and water and get in between the fingers. Make sure everything is really clean. And I'm going to get my first station while we wait. And we're going to put on our aprons when they come back. So cute. Are you cooking too, Malia? Are you going to cook? All right. And all right, I think everyone's back. So now we're just going to put on our aprons. Diamond and her mom, they have their aprons on. Always wear an apron. Always make sure you wear clothes that won't catch on fire, like a long t-shirt so you prevent burns. Throw that on so we can get started. Diamond and her mom each have a dish towel. You don't have to have one, but it comes in handy. And we're going to start with our pizza dough. I want you guys to pull out your little packet of yeast. I think Haley, Jack, and you have your packets, but Diamond is going to use her dry active yeast. About 2 1/4 teaspoons. So tell the camera that you're going to use 2 1/4 teaspoons.
I'm going to use 2 1/4 teaspoons.
And that should be what's in your pack. So go ahead and empty your pack of yeast into a little bowl. So do you remember how to measure? It's 2 1/2 teaspoons. You can probably only leave my mouth. You can take yours off. It's easier for me to work with you. And you can take your gloves off if you're going to take everything off. So you're going to take 2 1/4 teaspoons. There's 2. You need 2 of those. Once you get your yeast empty into a little bowl, I want you to get a big pinch of sugar. Use 2 or 3 fingers. You want a big pinch of sugar. Add the sugar to the bowl with the yeast. We have a quarter. That's a quarter. And then you're going to do your pinch of yeast. Now the sugar, you remember, Diamond, what the sugar is going to do to the yeast? What does it help do? It activates it. Big voice. It activates it. It activates the yeast. That's because yeast is a living organism. And by adding sugar and water to that, you can see it start to bubble. That's our way of knowing that it's alive. So I'd like you to get a little measuring cup and put about 1/4 of a cup of water in it. You can put 1/4 of a cup, you do your pinch, a very big pinch. Usually it pinches those 3 fingers, but we want a big one to get a big chunk of sugar. Yeah, go ahead. Here you go. And now you're gonna get a 1/4 cup of water. If you look on your measuring cup, this is for liquids, and you'll see a 1/4 cup at the very bottom. Look for 1/4. Mom will help you with that. You're going to put a 1/4 cup of water in there. You want to make it sort of lukewarm. Let's see. Now wait till it warms up just a little. Oh, here you go. Go ahead and put a 1/4 cup in.
Oh boy, that's cool.
Now you see what Diamond's doing. She's learned. You always want to put your eye down level to the line so you can tell whether it's reaching a 1/4 cup. Go ahead and pour that into the yeast. And you're going to let that sit for about 5 minutes. And what do you think it's going to do after 5 minutes, Diamond? It's going to start to bubble. That's exactly right. Add about a cup of this. About a cup. Let's see. Now go ahead and add get another measuring cup and add about 2 cups of water to your measuring cup. Let's do 2 cups in case we need it. We're gonna, there you go.
So we're putting 2 more cups into that?
No, you're going to put 2 more cups in a measuring cup, and you're going to
Oh,
keep
just in the measuring cup. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah. We're going to prep the dough. We're going to get our yeast ready.
You do 2 more cups.
Starts to bubble. We're going to get 2 cups of water. We're going to need it soon. But we don't know how much water we need. I'm just guessing. And we're going to get a little bit of salt. Don't add the salt to the yeast yet, because sugar speeds up the production of yeast, but salt will slow it down. So we're going to add our salt a little bit later. And we're going to need our flour.
Miss Tracy, I put 2 more cups in. Is that?
In the water with the yeast?
Yes.
Okay, that's okay. So what you're going to do is you're just going to have to wait, and it doesn't really matter. The only reason we put it in a 1/4 cup is we wanted to see if it was alive. So you're fine. You're going to need, in the future, you don't want to add it all at once in case you don't need quite that much water. But it'll work anyway. Did you add the sugar, Jack?
Yes, I did.
All right, you're halfway there. Now you got your flour. We'll probably need a couple of cups. We're not sure. And moms, I want to tell all of you moms that I'm going to email you recipes after the class, because I don't want you to use a recipe. Whenever you're working with dough, you want to sort of intuitively learn how much water, how much flour you need. Because every day is different. Depends on how old the flour is, and it depends on the temperature in the air. Okay. So we got our flour here. We've got our water, our sugar. We've got our yeast, which if you look at, Jack might have a harder time telling because he has so much water in there. But it's probably fine because it's a brand new pack. This is starting to bubble up, so you can tell that it's alive. All right. Now, I'm going to do something different. And this is going to be fun, and Diamond gets to take this home with her. You don't remember what we called this? So I made a sourdough starter. And sourdough functions like yeast. What does it smell like to you?
Like grapes.
It smells like sort of acidic grapes. It smells like bread. It smells like wine. So instead of using yeast, Diamond's also going to make some bread, pizza crust, using the sourdough starter. And that'll be a lot of fun. And she's going to take this home with her. So I'm going to do that over here. We have a mixer. If you don't have a mixer with a dough stand, you can do it by hand, which is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to knead the bread.
Do we put the flour in now?
So what you're going to do, Jack, is you're going to get about let's start with 2 cups of, let's start with 3 cups of flour. And I'm going to give this to Diamond. Diamond, the best way to measure that out.
Oh, it is.
Good.
3 cups. That off, so then a half of more.
One each sand. So show, Diamond, keep it over here, and then I'm going to let you show them how to do it. Let me give you a quick recap. And I want you to explain it, so you want to keep it light and fluffy. And then when you get it
So
out,
it looks, hey guys, so it looks like Chef is doing is she's using a spoon to put inside the measuring cup instead of dipping the whole.
Diamond, go ahead and explain to the camera what they need to do.
Like put it in here like this.
You sprinkle it in.
Like sprinkle it.
And then what are you going to do to the mountain?
You're gonna
Just
just
the flat part. Very good. So you want to level the flour with a spoon. There you go. Do it away from you. It's a little easier. There you go. So we'll actually put your flour in here since we're going to use a mixing bowl. Go ahead and put maybe 3 cups of in there.
This is what's fun about cooking. Fine.
All right, I'm going to take the sourdough, and if we ever do a bread class, I'll teach you how to make sourdough with grapes. It's a lot of fun.
Tracy, they're confused. They wanted to know, are they supposed to have sourdough?
No. Let me communicate that better. I'm sorry. So since Diamond's here with me, I wanted her to understand how there's different ways to make bread. And if you use yeast, which is a living organism, what yeast does is it likes to eat sugar. And once the yeast, since it's alive, when it eats sugar or flour, it creates alcohol or carbon dioxide. And that carbon dioxide is what makes your bread rise. And yeah, go ahead and put that in with your, put it in with your water. So what I wanted Diamond to see, since she's in the kitchen with me, is you can also do it by making a sourdough, which is made from the yeasts that grow on grapes. And it's a really fun process because all of these microorganisms like yeast, they're everywhere and you don't see them. They're very small microorganisms. And they grow on grapes, they grow everywhere. And so by feeding the yeast on grapes, you can turn it into a sourdough that makes the bread rise, just like this yeast mixture is going to make your pizza crust dough rise. Is that, you understand what I'm saying a little bit better?
Yeah.
Is that a little more clear? Okay, so Jack and Emily and Haley, today what you're going to do is you're going to add your yeast to the water, and then you're going to pour that in with the flour. You're going to have about 2 to 3 cups of flour. You're going to pour it in a big bowl, and we're going to start mixing it by hand. Go ahead and pour it in here very slowly. There you go. So Diamond's pouring the yeast and the water into the bowl of the flour. And you're going to use a spatula to get all of the yeast out. We want as much yeast as possible. I don't need to cut you off. Because all of that yeast, as it eats the sugar in the flour and the sugar in the bowl, it's going to make carbon dioxide grow. And that's what we want to do right now. So go ahead and, very good. I'm just gonna put this over here. And I'm gonna raise this for you. Turn it on to maybe 2. So if you have, who has a mixer? Are you guys using that stand-up mixer or your hand?
Wait.
Can you use your hand?
He's using,
Wait, can I go in?
I'm using my hand, chef.
All right, good. So as you start mixing your dough, mix it until all of the liquid is incorporated into the flour.
Mom, could you take out my spoon?
Once it's incorporated, you're going to take a big pinch of salt, like 2 pinches, 2 big pinches of salt, and you're going to sprinkle it in. We didn't add the salt sooner because we didn't want it to slow down the yeast. There you go. But don't forget the salt, because bread without salt doesn't taste very good. All right.
can you see Joey right now?
So let's do a recap. Do you have your bowl with the yeast, the sugar, the water, and the salt?
We need to put salt in it. Yep.
We're putting salt in.
Okay.
I can't pinch it. You. Wait, we
Now
gotta
we're
use
going to need something a little more viscous. We're going to add a tiny bit of either olive oil or clear oil. If you have a vegetable oil, olive oil, canola oil would be good, safflower oil. Just do like a quick dump. Pour it and stop. You only want about a tablespoon. That's good. You don't want too much. 1 tablespoon's good. A little more. You don't have to worry about it. You just want that viscosity in your dough.
So if we have a little bit, our dough is a little bit wet, I can add more flour to that, right?
Yes, not yet though, but yes, absolutely. So mix it until the salt is well incorporated. Put a little oil in there. Mix it till it's well incorporated. And then we'll go on to the flour because that's very important.
Excuse me, chef. What is the texture supposed to be like right now? Is it supposed to look like pancake mix?
It's supposed to look like what?
Pancake mix? Because that's what mine looks like.
Yours you could probably pour, right?
Yes.
Okay,
It looks like
So-
it makes for 9.
perfect. Because I want to be able to incorporate the salt. If it's too thick, the salt will get stuck. So just keep kneading it so it's well incorporated.
But it's a little chunky too.
A little bit. Yeah, turn on to 2. All right.
And I'm sorry, how much oil?
Like a tablespoon. You can go over if you want. There's no exact science to this. It's more by feel.
I do need.
Once your salt and your oil is incorporated, let me know.
The oil is incorporated. Mom, I can't do it.
Yes, you are. You're doing great.
Can I have a little bit more?
Yeah, but you have to wait for her to say that.
So to my sourdough, I'm doing a separate one. Instead of using yeast, I'm doing one with sourdough. I had a little honey, a little olive oil.
I only need half. Oh yeah, it's getting a little jelly.
All right, you guys ready to add more flour? Don't add any more flour yet. That's what I tell you to. All right. So this is why we don't really measure ahead of time. Your pizza crust dough needs more flour now because it's too runny. So you just want to add by the spoonful because you want to get a dough that's not too thick and hard, but not too sticky. But I would rather have it too sticky because then when you roll it out to make pizza crust, you could always add more flour. If you have too much flour and it's tough, you can't take the flour out. So while you're kneading your dough, add a spoonful at a time and stop when it's still sticky, but it's almost not sticky. And the reason we don't measure is because if your flour is old or if it's humid outside, Some days you need more flour, some days you need less. So it's better to just practice and look at your dough and feel for it. So go ahead and start adding flour. And 1 spoonful of flour. I'll turn this on.
Is this what it's supposed to look like?
Yeah, start with that.
Is this what it's supposed to look like?
So
I
add
think you need more flour, Jack, it looks like.
More flour.
Is this what it's supposed to look like? It's a little humid. Oh, does mine look good, Mom? I think that's a deli. Nice deli. Mine deli?
Now, if you need to use a spatula to scrape it off the side, go ahead.
Alright, can I?
Scrape it down in there.
Yeah, that is deli.
It's not quite yet.
Oh yeah, I think I got the dough. Look.
So how does it look? Is it still,
Look.
is it too runny still?
It smells nice.
Okay, yeah. Make sure it's still sticky. It's better to have too little. You don't want it to look like bread though. You want it to be a little sticky. And once you get it to, once it's too sticky, keep kneading the dough. You just want to punch it and fold it and punch it and fold it.
After, should it be mushy or a little bit thicker?
Should it be mushy or a little thicker? Is mine right now? A little bit more. I need my spoon. Not even a whole one. That's good. Yeah.
I want to be able to take it out and knead it up. You get tired, you can sit down. Want a stool or a chair? You want to sit over here next to them? All right.
Feels like slime. It feels like Play-Doh.
It's supposed to smell like bread. I feel like bread.
Is it supposed to feel like Play-Doh?
So
Is
now
this how, is this how it's supposed to be, like the consistency, like this?
So I'm going to pour it out here. I'm doing my sourdough so you can see what the dough is supposed to look like.
Okay.
Here's a sticker, Simon. You can. Emily, how you doing? See how sticky that is? It's still sticky.
More.
So I can add a little more flour. But I just sprinkle it on, just a little bit.
You want it to be like
And then I'm just going to fold it over. Just sort of have fun with it. Mine's way too sticky, so I'm going to add a little more flour. You want me to take yours out? I think there's yeah, it's almost there. Put that up and then start it again. We'll take it out.
Very sticky.
All right. Mine's getting close, so I got to be careful that my hands. I hear a puppy dog. Who's puppy?
Yes, I did. It is.
it's
We have a
barely-
dog here too, but he disappears. What's your dog's name?
Bailey. It's the one that you saw
I met
yesterday.
yesterday. I met Bailey, right?
Yeah.
All right. So that looks very good. Okay, so let's put that out on your workspace. We're just gonna work.
Whoa, it's.
Use a spatula.
Mom. Okay.
Now, did you see how I did it? I'm just gonna stretch it out and fold it
Sugar.
and push it down. I'm stretching it out, folding it, pushing it down. And then if I need a little more flour, I'm just dusting the top. Be careful. It's better to go slowly and let it be sticky. Are you glad you're using gloves? I gave Diamond gloves, and I think she's glad now. Because all we have to do, oh, this is my, so this is how it's supposed to look.
Oh, see, it's like supposed to be like.
Once it looks like this, just keep kneading the dough. Can you smell this? You're gonna take this home. Can you smell that?
Wait.
That smells good.
This is way.
All right. Now,
Wait. I'm not at that stage yet.
that looks sticky. That looks like fun.
It is fun, but it is not.
That looks great. So add the flour slowly. Don't be in a hurry. Don't feel like you're behind. It's not a race.
It's
Mine
bacon.
needs a tiny bit more.
Mine is even. Yeah.
So what you're doing, pull back your fingers for a minute. Slow down. What you're gonna do, watch this. Your hands are littler, so you're gonna pick it up and you're gonna try to roll it around in the flour. I'm gonna give you a little bit more too. A little bit. And so if you pull it out and stretch it and fold it, all of us, all children do this. Every child I've ever met does this. They start pinching it. So you push it. But what you want to do instead of pinching it, focus on stretching it, folding it until it comes together. See the difference? She's pinching it again. It's such a can't resist. So did you see what Diamond was doing? She's doing what I'm sure you guys are doing there. You're pinching your gushy dough. Try to stretch it and fold it and roll it around in any excess flour you have.
Oh, yeah.
See, it's starting to see she's pinching it again.
I'm trying not to pinch it.
I
I'm just
know.
trying to make it like stretch.
Yeah, exactly. And once it gets, and it'll be easier. Once it gets a little less thick, it'll be easier. You see how I'm doing it now? A little bit more like taffy. Mine's probably as good as it should get. And honestly, as you knead it for another 5 minutes, it's going to start getting sticky again as you incorporate the flour. So you might have to tweak it. And depending on whose flour is being used, if you have a newer flour or an older flour, you might need more flour than your Zoom partner in the next square. So just play with it. See where it goes. And maybe Mom, while you're waiting, you can do this. I'm going to get a bowl, and I'm going to put a little bit of oil in the bowl and smear it around. We're going to let the pizza crust rise in that.
Yours really look like gloves now, or like
So I'm going to get some of this oil and a new glove.
I literally look like a lizard.
I'm going to give you a little more flour. You're actually getting close.
Yeah, I'm really good.
Yeah. Sprinkle. Now try to flip it, stretch it and flip it on the other, get the other side. There you go.
What happened to the spoon? Oh no, I rescued the spoon.
So I'm going to take some olive oil, I'm going to put it in the bowl. Just like this.
Oh,
Just a little bit of oil. Put much oil in there. You just don't want the pizza crust dough to stick. Oh, I love the smell of that oil. And I'm going to take my dough. When it's ready, don't be in a hurry. I think Jack needs a little more flour in his.
flour. Do I need more?
It's still a little sticky. Looks like fun though. Looks like a lot of fun.
When do you know it's ready?
Let's see yours, Malia.
Hold on. It's hard to pick up right now.
Yours needs a little bit of flour.
Or
this-
flour?
The diamonds is starting to look really good. So since my hands are bigger, this is what I'm going to do. Watch what I'm doing now, diamond. I'm going to take this. I'm going to ignore that. And I'm going to do this. And then, now, stretch it out, fold it, stretch it out, fold it.
It really feels like fun.
So easy. I know. Well, your hand, let me get you some. That will help you.
The sugar makes it.
There you go. Those on. We'll give you a new cutting board.
And the salt goes too.
We'll put this on top. They won't even know it's there. All right. Now, you got your glove? Put your glove on.
Is this right?
So you see how it gets to be thicker? Now we don't need any more flour. You might. Right? You stretch it, you fold it, and you're just going to do that for a few minutes. You want the gluten to come out. You want it to feel very elastic. And it's, you get past the sticky stage where you're kneading this dough, it's fun. Watch what I do. Pull it out, fold it, push it down.
No, if you push it out, it just makes a big pop.
Roll it down. There you go. Fold it, push it down. Perfect. Now let's get a little sticky there. A little bit of flour. Now try it again. Very pretty. I'm going to fix you a bowl. So I'm going to make a diamond's bowl of oil. You want the sides to get oily too, because this dough will rise. It's going to rise.
I know, I'm trying.
Now, moms, Malia and both moms, Carrie and Kara, if you could turn on the ovens, you want a 450-degree oven. And maybe make sure the rack is either in the middle or a little higher. You're gonna heat up your oven. There you go, very good. Diamond's got it. She's starting to self-correct. She knows when it needs more, when not. That looks nice.
Finally.
I would focus on folding. That's beautiful.
All right, I think I got it now.
Yeah, and Diamond, use your fist if you have to. Watch how Diamond does it. She's got it figured out. She cracked the code. That's beautiful. Yeah. And the punching things with the knuckles is very nice. You feel how it's very elastic and doughy? You
Yeah.
feel that? All right.
It's absorbing my punches.
Emily, mine was just as sticky as yours, but I add more flour. Just keep adding more flour to it. And then
Yeah, more flour.
same way
Yeah.
you did.
Kara there? Kara?
Yeah.
Theirs need more flour.
We don't have any.
I know, they used it all. Can I
Oh.
use this quart, or that won't help?
Oh, do you have any more flour in the cupboard?
I do.
We don't have.
If not, if you don't have any more flour, do you have any flatbreads or pizza tortillas?
Yes, we have tortillas.
Yeah, let me show you what I've got. So the fun thing about making pizza is in a pinch, you can use all sorts of stuff. So I've got some non-flatbreads. These make really good pizzas. I've got some big flour tortillas. You can use those. I got the lavash bread. You can use those.
And I
You can use
put it-
English muffins. They make really fun mini pizzas. Those are so much fun. I love these.
That gives me nice. Let's see what it does.
All right. So does everybody have everybody who's ready, do you have your mound of pizza dough that you can put in your oiled bowl? That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Let me hold this up. This is, wait, leave it there. It's perfect. See diamonds? This is diamonds. This is really beautiful, and it's very elastic, but it's not too dry. There's a little bit of stickiness just on the tip of my fingers.
Wow. Go Diamond.
So she's going to put this into her bowl of her oiled greased bowl with the olive oil. Now,
Tracy,
yeah.
what do you think? Is that more flour? Can
Yeah,
you see it?
It's going to need more flour. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're almost there.
Oh, there. Ah, that looks like fun. Yeah, you might be the one that's easier to use. Do you have any kind of, Carol? Do you have any kind of flour at all?
Let me see. I don't.
Do you have wheat germ? You could put wheat germ in there. Do you have wheat germ? You could add almond flour. This is actually cool because you can use almost any hack to. Isn't that adorable? It's so cute. I like what you're doing, Jack. That looks like fun.
It literally feels like a bunch. I can walk on the dough. I'm just playing.
That looks like fun. You know, you could actually bake that. That would become bread.
I guess I'll eat it.
No. I don't have any more flour.
Carrie, how are you doing? How's Haley doing?
We're doing very well. I did have to go into the pantry and get some more flour,
Okay.
but I think we're almost there.
Oh,
Almost.
good. Perfect.
We're almost there, Diamond. Ours is almost as beautiful as yours. Almost.
Cornmeal help?
Go ahead and put that in this bowl. Diamond's going to put the whole, you got to leave it, put it in there, nice and perfectly round. There you go. And you could put a piece of plastic over it. Now, what do you have? What's that?
It's cornmeal. Would that help?
Oh, that's going to be, when you roll out your dough, you put cornmeal on the bottom so it doesn't stick.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Yeah. Do you have, Kara, do you have any whole wheat flour or wheat germ, cake flour, Bisquick, your Bisquick?
Is that pancake mix?
Yeah,
I don't really bake that much. Let me see.
that's okay. You know what you could do you know what you could do? What you should do is get a big bowl and sort of oil it, then take it, scrape it off of their fingers, put it in the bowl and cover it. You can let it rise. And then when you roll it out, tomorrow, you have to do this tomorrow, you can add flour and, you know, because by then it'll be ready. The gluten will have set. For today, they're going to use tortillas or English muffins or flatbread for their pizza.
Okay. I have English muffins.
Okay. All right. So scrape that off and put it into an oiled bowl.
Tracy,
Yeah.
how's this? Good?
Let me see. Malia, let's see. Let me pull this. Hang on. Let's see. That looks beautiful. Did you put oil in your bowl?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I only did it like halfway. Does it, the whole thing need to be? I did like halfway.
Let's see. What do you mean?
Like in the bowl, when you like oiled it, does the whole inside of the bowl need to be oiled?
Well, you know, it sort of depends on how much the dough rises. So I would oil the insides all, pretty much up to the top.
Okay.
You know, not totally. That's beautiful, Carrie. That looks nice.
Beautiful, Haley. You did great job.
Haley, good
You did
job.
most of the good work.
Yeah. I like the hat.
Thank you.
You got a hat too. That's very nice.
Do we cover it or we?
Yeah, so put you could put a slightly damp towel over it, or you could put plastic over it.
Yeah, do that now.
Tracy, I'm gonna leave, okay? And leave.
Did it all the way up?
Sorry, I had to leave the room for a sec. So I'm putting plastic over mine.
All the way up?
Diamond has a damp dishcloth over here.
She did pretty good.
And then we're going to cover it with plastic.
Yeah. All right. Haley, what are you putting on yours? Are you putting a dishcloth or are you putting plastic on yours? Haley, can you hear me, sweetheart? Are you going to put a dishcloth over yours or plastic? You want to put plastic? I don't hear it.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I was muted. I didn't realize.
Oh, that's plastic. Plastic. All right. All right. So once this is covered, we're going to set it aside for 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
If you have a chance, if you do this again, it's even better if you let it sit overnight. Let it sit. You can put it in the refrigerator, and the next day you take it out of the refrigerator for like 3 hours. And the pizza does even better. But we don't have the time. Okay, I'm going to put yours over here. That's yours. Keep that.
Tracy, should it go in the refrigerator?
Not for 30 minutes. No, you want it to be room temperature because that helps the yeast. You want the gluten to develop. You want the yeast to eat the sugars and the flour. And we're going to try to create as much carbon dioxide as we can for 30 minutes.
Oh, it's okay. All right.
So now we've got to make some sauce.
This over here.
Diamond, what kind of sauce do you like? Do you like chunky? I already know the answer, but I'll ask you again. Tell everyone whether you prefer chunky sauce or
That's smooth tomato sauce.
all right. Haley, what kind of tomato sauce do you like?
What kind of tomato sauce do you like?
You like chunky or smooth?
Chunky or smooth?
Smooth.
You like smooth, okay. Jack and Emily, do you like chunky or smooth?
Good. Garbage.
She usually likes food.
They like smooth. So I'm going to really quickly show you 2 ways to make it. So if you don't have a lot of time and you like it chunky, you just have to add garlic and salt. But if you like it smooth, we're going to cook it really quickly on a stove. So get a small saucepan for your sauce. And that you do those. Actually, for one pizza, so you're going to do this one. I don't want to. All right, so come on over here. Let's get you a saucepan. You're done. Come on over here. Put your sauce in here. So does everybody have nice tomatoes? All right.
As what? Oh, the tomatoes, yes.
And you know what you're going to add to that, Diamond? You're going to add like, the cool thing about this is 2 tablespoons right here. Go ahead and tell them what you're gonna add, because they have to do it too.
We're gonna add about 3 tablespoons.
Let's go 2. 2. 2 tablespoons of olive oil.
Should we add the tomato sauce? The
Yeah,
tomato?
add tomato sauce. It gives it a nice flavor.
Be careful.
And you guys have the thyme. You have these little sprigs of thyme. Maybe we'll like add 4. Thyme's got a lot of offhand. So she's gonna add 4 sprigs of thyme to her tomato sauce. You guys also have basil, but we're not going to put the basil in yet because it'll lose all its flavor if it cooks. And it can turn a horrible shade, and then you can't. It's not green anymore. Or it'll get killed. All right. Take your sauce with your thyme and your olive oil and a small pinch of salt. Let's get it. You want to explain to them what a pinch is?
Like
3 fingers. Scoop it up as much as you can with 3 fingers. There we go. So you've got your thyme, your olive oil, your tomatoes, and a big pinch of salt. We're going to put it on the stove and we're going to start cooking it.
You gonna put
While
3 of these.
it starts to cook, we're going to tackle the garlic.
Much olive oil? 3?
I'd say 2 or 3. 3 is probably okay,
2?
but we did 2.
Okay.
If you sauce sweet, what do you think you could add to it to make it sweet?
Sugar.
Sugar. I don't like it too sweet. Some people do. Don't add any of the basil. Don't add the basil. Okay. In the meantime, I'm going to do a very raw one. I have to do a raw.
So are we turning the heat on yet?
Yeah, turn on the heat to medium. Just to medium.
See more. Looks like medium.
The tomato with this slotted spoon so that the juice stays. But you put the tomatoes in there. So she's gonna make some diced tomatoes for me, separate from what you're doing, because you like smooth. I'm gonna make a raw chunky sauce with garlic, so you know how to do it if you don't have much time. Now, does everybody have their head of garlic? Hold up your garlic and garlic. Okay. There you go, Haley. All right. So on your cutting board, we're gonna work on our garlic. Yeah, that's perfect. Go on over there.
The rest of this.
Where you were.
All right. Cutting board.
Break this up.
Put this on top of it. Just move in her direction.
All right. Which one of you guys has done garlic in my class before? Do you remember? Diamond, did you do garlic? You want to show them how to do it? How do you open it?
Okay, move over a bit. You want to show what she's doing?
oh yeah.
Here you go. See what Diamond is doing? She's banging on the head of garlic. Turn it over. That's fine. You get to something. All right, I get it. Just got a big pestle. All right. All right, once you have your cloves separated, you got to take the husk. You got to take the husk off of each garlic. You're going to pound it, and you're going to take that paper-thin skin off of each garlic clove. And you probably only need 2 or 3 garlic cloves. You don't need the whole head. Yeah. Oh wait, you gotta tell them. Diamond has a garlic hack she wants to show you.
So you can take your knife and then you're gonna kind of like have the and like put the knife like this and then press down on the knife.
Very good. Might have
So
to
you
hit
get
it.
like a little pop
Mhm.
and well,
Hit it again. You got it. That's an excellent hack. You can hit it too. There you go. If you hear it, once you hear it snap, the husk will come off. There you go. And then you can put your garlic cloves on the cutting board. And this is where we're going to practice our knife skills.
Take one, and there's your knife.
Does everybody have 2 garlic cloves in front of them on a cutting board? Haley does. Jack and Emily.
Yes.
All right. So, all right, I'm going to show you this since it's a knife skill. Do you remember? You keep one and I'll do the other one. Diamond, do you want to remind them how to hold a knife whenever you're working in a kitchen? What, do you remember what you told me when you came in here?
what not to do basically is have it like that one like you're standing because then you can accidentally like poke yourself in the leg. And I remember I think you said something like don't hold it like that.
Yeah, if you're not using the knife, you always put it down. So if you're not using it, the knife is always down. You never walk anywhere with the knife. But if you have to take it to the sink, you always hold the knife down by your side, just like that. You never hold it out. You never hold it in. Just like, and you never hold it in front of you because it could drop on your toe. So, when you pick up your chef's knife, you're going to hold all fingers behind the blade. You don't want your index finger like this, ever. You want all 5 fingers behind the blade.
You don't want to try?
Then with your other hand, you're going to pretend like your other hand is a claw. And you're going to dig your fingernails into whatever you're cutting. And you're going to use the knuckle to guide the blade of the knife. That way, as you're cutting, you don't have to worry that you're cutting your fingers. And that's how we're going to do it here. We're going to use our knuckles to keep the blade from cutting our fingers, and we're just going to go back and forth on our cutting board to cut the garlic. You can round it up, back and forth just like that until your garlic is very small. And I like the way Diamond's doing it. There's different methods, and that works too. It's a little harder on your knife. She's doing sort of like that. And a lot of people do that. It's a little harder on the knife, but you can do that too. I like this one where you rock the knife a little bit, back and forth, and then you get a nice mince of garlic. Once you have that, you're going to put your knife down. I see my kids do this. They pick up everything and walk to the stove with their knife like this. You never want to do that. Once you're done, you put the knife down. You're going to pick up your cutting board and you're going to walk your garlic over and add it to the tomatoes. You can put yours in. You want to put this in here? Go ahead and use that. Diamond put her knife down. She's not touching it. Go ahead and add it to the sauce. No, I'll add some. No, I'm not going to do. I'll go ahead and add that in there. I'm just going to do cook like you are. Here you go. Add a little more olive oil. Yeah, we got to add the acid. Let's come on over here. All right.
Now we add this to the tomato sauce, the garlic to the tomatoes.
Add the garlic to the tomatoes, and you might, if you haven't already added salt to the tomatoes, add a little pinch of salt. I think you did that. So you're gonna have your diced tomatoes, a little olive oil, some sprigs of thyme, a pinch of salt, a pinch of sugar if you like it. And you're gonna turn the heat on to medium. And maybe every 5 minutes, you're gonna walk over to the stove and we're gonna stir the sauce. You don't want the sauce to stick on the bottom. All right. So while the sauce is cooking, we need to add a few toppings to our repertoire. All right. So Haley, what toppings do you like on your pizza?
I like mushrooms and onions.
You like onions and what, mushrooms?
Yes.
All right. All right, so we're gonna do mushrooms and onions.
Oh, this smells good.
All right. So I bought some mushrooms because I knew this. And for anybody who has mushrooms, you can follow along. Diamond and I are gonna do this together.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't have mushrooms, you can watch, because this is the fun thing about mushrooms. So here's your paring knife. You're gonna need a paring knife. And for anybody who doesn't know what a paring knife is, it's this little knife. I almost never use it because I'm almost always using this knife. This knife is safer in the kitchen. But when I'm peeling mushrooms, I like the paring knife. So everybody, who raise your hand if you have mushrooms in front of you? Anybody cooking with mushrooms today? Okay, great. So whenever I use mushrooms, I like to take the stem off, and then I freeze the stem in a bag because I can use it later on for vegetable stock, because I don't like buying vegetable stock. And I even save the skins. This is a great mushroom. It's not slimy, so you can cut this mushroom and use it on your pizza. But a lot of times mushrooms are slimy, or if you're serving them raw, you don't want them to look brown and dirty. So a lot of times I will peel them. See how beautiful white that is? And then I don't throw the peels away either. I add the peels to the stems, and all of my vegetable scraps that I freeze, I get free, sort of, free vegetable stock that tastes so much better than the package. And I like peeling mushrooms. You want to peel one? You see how pretty? It's all cleaned up, and it's just very nice. Now, if your mushroom in front of you is slimy, I want you to peel it. First, I want you to take the stem off. Look at your mushroom. If it's not slimy, it's your choice. You can keep it like this, or you can peel it, whatever you prefer. I love peeling it, and I love having vegetable stock.
All right. I bought pre-sliced mushrooms because I'm a lazy cook. So we won't be cutting any mushrooms.
They're all so busy. I mean, it's, you know, and we learned in the pandemic how hard it is to cook 3 meals a day, you know. So, all right. All right, so now you're gonna slice your mushrooms. You want them pretty thin because they're not gonna lay on the pizza that long, and mushrooms have a lot of water in them. And if you cut them thick and you put it on your pizza, it'll get watery and it won't roast enough before you take it out again. So what we wanna do here is we wanna slice, and be careful, you're gonna use a chef's knife and you're gonna hold it so that the knuckles are guiding the blade. And you wanna slice very thin slices of mushrooms, very thin. That way they'll roast faster in the oven. I have a little bowl of mushrooms here. Now I wanna give you a tip. This is a great knife skills tip. So Diamond was doing what a lot of children do. She was slicing toward her, but what might she cut if she slices toward her? Her finger. So it's better to hold the mushroom down below, and you're gonna peel from the top, and that way you're not slicing toward yourself. It takes practice, it's not easy. I'm gonna slice a few more very thin mushrooms.
Oh, you know what's cool?
Yeah.
If you like get in the mushroom, I peeled it.
I think I hear Bailey. All right. I'm pepperoni today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add turkey pepper in one of the bowls. And there we go. Who wanted onion? Was it Haley and who else wanted onion? And Diamond, is it your mom who wants it? Okay. All right. You might need to have your mom near you for this one. So Haley, Jack, and Emily, come on over here so that your mom can help you with this, because onions are a little tougher to slice. So whenever you slice onions, you want to make sure you're working with a flat edge, but you can tell the shape of the onion is round, which is dangerous. So we're going to slice off. You see you've got two sides. You've got the root side and you've got the tip. You want to slice off the top of the tip like as if it were a hat. You want to slice that hat up, and I like to save my onion skins. I freeze those and add them for vegetable stock. You put that flat side down, you got your flat side, and then you slice this onion in half. You're only going to get a few slices, so just take the peel off half of your onion. And I'm going to save my skins because I'm going to freeze. I'm going to give you this so you can slice. So I put them in separate bags. I don't always cook with mushrooms. Then I put it in a pot with water. And I cook it down for like 40 minutes. So good. Add a little tomato. Favorite. That's the house. So, are you ready to work with the chef's knife? Put that down. You're not using it. And you remember your guide. You're going to put your foot. You might have to use your thumb. And you're going to use your knuckles and you're going to do thin slices of onion. Okay? Go slowly. Go slowly. Here you go. You're nice and thin, a little thinner. You don't want your finger there, you want your knuckle. So use your thumb to anchor. And you can, your hands are little still. So there you go. Can you see Diamond slicing her onions? Got it. Take some of these and make them thin this way so that they are easy to sprinkle on. We put our onions in here. All right. How are your onions coming? You got your onions under control?
Yes. We're cut.
All right. All right, we got our mushrooms, we got our onions. We're going to chiffonade the basil. You have a plastic bag with basil. And we're going to put this on the pizza only at the very, very end. And Diamond knows how to chiffonade, so I'm going to let her do this for us. That looks good. I'm going to take this, I'm going to mix it a little thinner while you start on the basil. Do you remember how to stack them and roll it like a log?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So Diamond's going to show you how to slice your basil. You've each got leaves of basil. You're going to stack them on top of each other like a stack of potato chips. A stack of pancakes. You're going to take each leaf off.
Yeah, I totally remember this.
Yeah.
Like at first I was like, I kind of know how to do chicken out.
Mm-hmm. So she's going to start by pulling the leaves off the plant, and then she's going to stack them on top of each other. Well, wait, don't roll it yet, because you have to hold it up for the. I'm going to have you do that in just a sec. So I got a stack of basil. Now show them how you're gonna roll it up. You're gonna roll up your stack of basil into a log, a tight little log.
And then you cut it, like just chop.
Yeah, well, don't cut yet. Wait till they've caught up. So you're gonna roll it up into a little log. Just like that. And then, using your knuckles to guide you, you're gonna slice very thin ribbons off of your chiffonade basil. There we go. Yeah, she's good at that. I love those ribbons. It smells really good. Smells like summer. And you're gonna put your chiffonade basil in here. If you find that your onion's too thick, just take the strips and cut it into even thinner strips. Since you're cooking a pizza for only 10 minutes, you want your slices thin or it'll be raw when you take it out of the oven. So thin is very important. All right, so we've got our basil, we've got our onion. I think that we have turkey pepperoni. Diamond and her mom wanted turkey pepperoni. There we go. And what else do we have? Check your sauce. You might have to stir the sauce real fast. All right, the only thing we need to do now for the pizza is grate the cheese and slice the mozzarella. And it's a little hard to clean up your workspace, but if you can take your cutting board and clean it off a little bit with a paper towel. All right. So we've got some Parmesan cheese we'll grate. I have some shredded mozzarella. We also have some fresh mozzarella. And a grater. I've got a grater here. If you have shredded mozzarella, it's really nice because it melts easily. Sometimes the fresh mozzarella doesn't melt very easily, but it's nice if you slice it really thin. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Let me open this for you. I'm gonna slice it in half. You like what? Isn't that fun? I'll let you do that. So here's the mozzarella. Slice the mozzarella really thin. Watch how Diamond does it. Use your knife, nice and thin. And then we'll grate a little Parmesan together.
I don't go too.
No, that's good. It's actually good that way. And now you see it's getting small, so what you can do is put it flat side. You got a little more room to work with. So slice that real thin. There you go. A little thinner. That's nice. So she's making really thin slices to her mozzarella, which is great. Yeah, no, that's perfect. Little bowl.
Using the Italian cheese?
All right. Put your mozzarella in there.
Chef, are we using the Italian mozzarella cheese?
No, just enough for your pizza. So just, maybe 6 slices is all you need. Not, try to get it sort of thin because that's always helpful.
Okay.
And then Diamond, go ahead and break some cheese. She's got her turkey pepperoni here. So we got our onions, our mushrooms, our basil. Now, Haley, are you guys doing the vegan challenge?
Yes, so we have the Daya, which is supposed to be the best brand, I think. So we've noticed, and these are just they're made with chickpea shreds.
Oh, that's
So
good.
we'll see. I mean, we've had like the sliced cheese. We haven't tried the mozzarella shreds yet.
Oh, good. We'll see. I think it's a great product. It really is. So, have you ever tried putting hummus on pizza? Like if you're vegan, sometimes hummus is great if you add garlic and olive oil, so it's spreadable. That's a nice substitute for cheese. And I don't know, Haley, do you like mushrooms and eggplant?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good, because if you roast mushrooms and eggplant and chop them up and you season it, it sort of feels like meat and it's got a rich flavor and it tastes great on pizza if you're vegan. It's really, really nice. So I'll let you try that once if you want. All right, so Diamond is grating her Parmesan cheese. We got our mozzarella, our turkey, our basil, onions and mushrooms. Sorry. Does it smell like cheddar? Oh, that's so funny. Maybe it is. Yeah, she says her mozzarella smells like cheddar, so maybe it's aged a little bit more. Because mozzarella is supposed to be a fresh cheese, so maybe who knows? Right.
Tracy, is this cheese good?
I think it'll be fine. If you think it looks a little thick, so it's not. There's no wrong answer, but you can always slice that into matchsticks because it's not going to be in the oven that long, so it might be a little more bubbly.
Okay.
But I was telling the group too that a lot of times I prefer the shredded processed mozzarella on pizza because it melts better. So a lot of times people use this for their margarita pizzas, but this is really good because it's so meltable. It really is meltable. So did Jack and Emily get to chiffonade their basil?
They did. They don't really like that. They're very plain, so they like tomato sauce and like cheese.
Okay.
They always make me take off the basil when so.
That's cute. Yeah, it's got a very distinct, strong flavor. But,
yeah.
All right. So we need the bread dough to rise a little bit more, so we're gonna make a salad. But in the meantime, let's go stir our sauce so it doesn't stick.
Now, is this enough cheese?
Yeah. Smell the sauce. It smells good. Really. All right. That smell good? So I turned my heat down a little bit because it was starting to stick. I want it to bubble, but it doesn't have to be on high heat. So if yours is on high heat and it's bubbling too much and sticking, turn it down a little bit. All right, so we only need a few leaves of lettuce. So, you need a bowl. All right, put your cheese in here. Put cheese and we'll start on our salad. All right, we need to prep some of this beautiful lettuce. But we don't need to prep it all. Just get a few leaves of lettuce. There's usually a lot of dirt leaves. Let me get 3 more leaves and put it in here. We're gonna maybe get a total of 6 leaves, depending on how much salad you want. You don't have to do the whole thing. But what you can do, and this is fun. There you go. The best way to keep this fresh is to keep this in a little bit of water instead of just throwing it in the refrigerator. If you can get a wet paper towel and wrap it around the root and put a little plastic on it and put it in the refrigerator, it'll keep a little bit longer. And now, instead of washing each leaf individually, we're going to add cold water. You want to cover it with cold water so all of the dirt can fall to the bottom of the bowl. So go ahead and swish it around just a little bit. Ooh. Hey. There we go. All right. Diamond's taking a bath. There we go. Feels good though on a hot day, right? All right, so we're just going to swish it around. We're going to you don't want it to soak too long. It'll get waterlogged. You just want to let the dirt fall to the bottom. And I have a few things from my garden which I'm going to let Diamond shift on. We've got some sorrel, which is sort of a citrusy leaf. Isn't that a pretty leaf? Green and red. So she's going to chiffonade that real fast. Whee! Go ahead and chiffonade that, and I'll put it in a bowl for you. We've got some rosemary, which I guess you can't smell from there, but we're going to use it to make vinaigrette. Now, Diamond likes French dressing. She wanted a French dressing. Do you guys like French dressing? You like French dressing? Raise your hand if you like French dressing. Okay. We're going to make a little French dressing.
Something like that one I had from Long Island.
All right, if you have any herbs, like some more, I have got rosemary here. You've got some sprigs of thyme. If you add that to your little glass container, just add a few more sprigs to a glass container. We're going to pour a little vinegar in there. That's going to go in. We're going to put that in a salad bowl. All right, and vinegar. All right, now we got to make our salad stuff. All right, is this going to be in the way of the camera, Sarah? Mm-hmm. All right, how about that? Okay, so one thing you want to know when you make a salad, you want the leaves to be dry. So you're going to take your wet leaves out. If you have a salad spinner, you're going to put the leaves in a salad spinner. If you don't, you're going to put them in a big towel, or paper towels will work. You're going to wrap it up and you're going to squeeze all the liquid out. Either one. Sometimes I use both. Get rid of the water. Get a little centrifugal force in there. Now, if you have a towel, that's fun. I think she likes the salad spinner. All right. So once that's done, take the leaves out and put it in here. We're going to dry it off. Go ahead and throw that in there. All right. Yeah, I know. It's a little tricky, right? All right. We're just going to wrap it up. I don't like my leaf wet at all. See, nice and dry. And then I'm going to have you take those leaves out and put it in your salad bowl. Here, I'll put that over here. Go ahead and stir your sauce real fast. I tricked her. I hid the lettuce in there. She can't find it. There you go. All right. All right. So you got dry lettuce, which you want to season immediately with salt. Go ahead and toss it. I always season the lettuce with salt. Very important. Little things like that chefs remember to do in restaurants. You can do at home. I'm going to get a little vinegar. I don't know what your favorite vinegar is, but rice vinegar is a nice one. Apple cider vinegar, red wine vinegar, balsamic vinegar, whatever you like. What's your favorite vinegar? You have a vinegar preference?
Wait, can I put this on top?
All right, so she has no vinegar preference. We're just gonna shove down the herbs into the vinegar because it sort of helps to infuse the flavor of the herbs. If you put the oil in right away, it gets lost. So I'm dunking the herbs. I'm using rosemary and thyme. You guys can just use thyme if you want.
So how much vinegar are we supposed to put in?
So this is where ratios are important. So the short answer is it depends. Depends on how much salad dressing you're going to make. It's good to remember it's sort of a 3-to-1 ratio, and this is a fun math game to play with your kids. So for every 3 tablespoons of oil, you're going to use about a tablespoon of vinegar. Now it depends because some vinegars are stronger than others. So, and some people like sour vinaigrettes. So some people I know would rather have 2 tablespoons oil for 2 tablespoons of vinegar. But the ratio is, and you kids are old enough to practice this at home, for every 3 tablespoons of oil, you have a tablespoon of vinegar. So I just sort of guessed because I'm going to let Diamond taste her vinaigrette and tell me what she likes. So I'm going to add probably just a tablespoon of vinegar because we don't need that much. I'm going to dunk my herbs in and I'm going to leave it there for a few. And I'm going to get my olive oil. If you don't have olive oil, you can use vegetable oil, any neutral oil. Ready? More salt if we need it. And who's made salad with me at lunch break before? Anybody make salad dressing at lunch break with Chef Tracy? Yeah, do you remember? What happens when you mix, Jack, Haley, Emily? What happens when you mix oil and water together? What happens?
It separates.
It separates. Yep. Very good. And Diamond said it well too. She said one of them floats to the top, and it's true. It's like a lava lamp. You can see them separating. So we add emulsifiers to certain mixtures because it helps keep them from separating, and that's called an emulsifier. I like using mustard. You can use mayonnaise. Anything that has a little acid in it. This has vinegar in it. Mayonnaise has vinegar in it or lemon. So it acts as an emulsifier that keeps oil and vinegar from separating. So to my vinegar, I'm just going to add a little bit of mustard. I'm not even going to measure because I can always adjust for flavor later on. I'm going to stir it around just to get the herbs coated in it. So I add my herbs. You smell that? You smell the herbs? You smell good. So I got my herbs, my oil, my vinegar. It does stink. Very acidic. I like it. Now, do you like your salad dressing sour? Or do you like not so sour? Okay, so we'll do the 3-to-1 ratio. I don't like it sour. I don't like that. Okay.
I could have one.
Oh,
I bet she already tasted the flour.
don't forget to stir your sauce one last time. I'm going to turn mine off. I'm going to turn my stove off, but I stirred it. All right, we got our vinaigrette.
Do I slice up the salad?
Now, I'm not going to add the oil yet because I'm going to turn this into French dressing. And if I add too much oil right now, I might regret it. So, but I need to finish my vinaigrette. In the meantime, I'm gonna make a French dressing. And to make a French dressing, you need ketchup. You need a little mayonnaise. And I'm not gonna measure that. Are these jars in the way, Sarah? Sure. I'm gonna get some mayonnaise. I'm not even gonna worry about how much, just a little bit, because you're not cooking for a battalion. So I have about this much mayonnaise. And this is the fun part. This is where Diamond's gonna take over. Because I want her to taste the food to see if it's the way she likes it. So to the mayonnaise, I'm gonna add some ketchup. She's gonna stir it up until it's pink. Now, do you like sort of a sweet sour French dressing? You like it a little sweet. We'll add some relish.
I'm gonna put some into the couch.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
So Diamond likes her French dressing a little sweet, so I'm going to add relish to hers. If you don't have relish, you can add sugar if you like it a little sweet. Add a little relish. Boom. I'm going to give you a little spoon to taste it. But no double dipping. So once you taste it, hand it back. I'm going to add a little salt to the pink dressing. Now go ahead and taste that. I'm going to taste it too. Go ahead and taste that.
Okay.
What does it need? Does that mean she likes it or hates it? What does it need? Good. It seems good. But what does it need? Like it? All right. So what we're going to do,
Yes, I'm coming.
so to her pink dressing, you're going to add a little bit of olive oil because you want it to be a dressing, not a mayonnaise. Go ahead and stir that in. Oh, because of the olive oil. And we're going to take some of our vinegar and we're going to add that. And now we're going to taste it again, see what it needs. It looks like French dressing. Mm. Better, huh? Hand your mom a spoon. I got more. So what does it need? So far what we have in here, we started to make a vinaigrette. We didn't finish the vinaigrette yet with the olive oil because we don't know how much we need because we're making French dressing also. So we start our French dressing base with mayonnaise, ketchup, a little relish, and some salt. And then we wanted to add a little vinaigrette to this. So we added a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of the vinegar. And you can just play with it. If it needs a little more relish, if it needs a little more vinegar, if it needs a little more relish, mustard, anything, just add to it, or salt. What do you think it needs? You need a little more relish?
No.
Oh, good. Well, let's do one more taste. I like it too. You want your mom to try it? Let's see what she thinks it needs. Since she's the diner. Do you like it? Oh, good. All right. So now, with your leftover vinegar, you just have to whisk in some olive oil. About twice as much olive oil as you have vinegar, and just stir it up. And that mustard should help keep it from separating. And that'll be your vinegar, your vinaigrette base. And if you think your French dressing needs more vinaigrette, you can always add it to it. So now you have vinaigrette, or you have French dressing for your salad. So, and how do you want to dress your salad? Do you want vinaigrette in yours or French dressing? French dressing. All right. Now there's a certain way to dress your salad when you make a salad. A lot of people just pour their salad dressing over it, which is actually pretty good. But we're not going to do that. We're going to drizzle it around the side of the bowl, and then we're going to toss it. Actually, you know what we have to do first? These leaves, we never did this. You got to chop, you got to pull your leaves, take pieces off. Tear up your leaves. I prefer to tear it instead of using a knife. Tear up your slices to little pieces using your fingers. Oh, that's okay. Throw it back in the bowl. Voila. And I'm going to drizzle her French dressing. You guys can choose if you want French or the vinaigrette. You're just going to drizzle it along the side of the bowl.
We're making salad. I'm not eating salad.
All right, now you're going to toss it, smear it along the side of the bowl. A little more salt. Because
Now, what does the salt do? I saw you pour salt in this.
yeah, then it coats it because a lot of times people get a mouthful of lettuce and it's just, you know, blah. Yeah. So I was always taught to dress it, and it's really a good plan. Oh, good. All right. We've got tomatoes. You can either throw them in whole, or you can slice them. If you slice them lengthwise, just like that.
What?
You can eat one.
No.
So you can, I'll let you choose. I like slicing mine because then you get the, once the tomatoes are salted, the juice from the tomatoes spreads in the salad.
When I was younger, I used to just ask for a big pack of.
Did they hear you? Say that. Tell me what you did to do.
Oh, when I was younger, I used to just ask for a big pack of those and just eat them.
They're very good for you. They're very good. You still like tomatoes?
Oh yeah.
What foods do you not like?
I don't know. I think it's like this one pasta. You become quite picky sometimes. Sometimes you don't like Parmesan on certain things. Sometimes like sour cream on top. So I don't know.
Is that fun? Kids are good. Cracks me up.
Mainly they're going to the bottom.
That's probably good. So what's your favorite thing that your mom makes?
When she makes, I can't really think of the name. Oh, the jerk chicken.
Oh, raise your hand if you've had jerk chicken. Jack, Emily, Haley, have you guys had jerk chicken?
What?
Have you ever had
Yeah. Yeah. So you like, somebody likes spicy food.
Remember you made those plantains?
Oh, those are good.
Can I try to find that?
Were they fried? The plantains?
Then she just like brought them out and she just like threw them in the oven.
They're so
So,
good.
it's like this lady. Then she watched like videos and like she could like cook some stuff.
Plantains are great. They're becoming popular here finally. You know, because there's bananas they've got. Plantains are forever. All right. So if you want to take some of your chiffonade and add it to your salad, you like basil? Somebody doesn't like basil. Was it Haley? You don't like basil? Was it you? Oh, you know. Okay. All right. All right, so our salad's done. We're gonna put our pizza together. And while we're eating, we're gonna put our pizza together now. In fact, should we tell them how we're tricking them? Should we tell them our little food trick we're doing? Remember what I said we're gonna do?
Oh, wait.
Don't tell them. Don't. Let's see if they notice. If they notice, how's that? Okay. Oh.
No, but we do have this clean one.
All right. Grab your pizza dough. Take it out of the bowl. Now you have. I like this one because let me do this. No, relax. All right, get your pizza dough out. Sprinkle a little flour on a clean cutting board. Everybody put their oven on to 450, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. So. We're going to do yours first. And don't squishify this. Let it just sit there. We're going to sprinkle a little more on top. Let it sit there. So you're going to put a little flour on your cutting board. You're going to put your pizza dough on top. Then you're going to sprinkle a little bit of flour on top. Only because you don't know yet how much you're going to need. Okay? Now for the moms, if you don't have one of these paddles for punishing your children, then you can use a baking sheet or like a big thing of aluminum foil. I'm going to put a little bit of cornmeal on here, just a little bit, because it'll keep my pizza crust from sticking. And my pizza crust, oh. All right, I'm going to put this here. And I cheated on this too because the cornmeal she gave us is very fine and powdery, which you can use, but I wanted something more sandy, so it'll make it a little easier. All right, so now for the fun part. All right, so let's get your pizza dough. You got a little flour on both sides. If it's really sticky, you're going to put a little more flour on it. You're not going to knead the dough anymore. You're just going to pull and stretch. And if it starts to get sticky, just take a little bit of dough and sprinkle it on there. I mean, a little flour, just a tiny bit. Just enough to keep it from sticking. And you're slowly just going to stretch it out. That's not good. Don't worry if it's not a circle. It doesn't have to be a circle. And that looks really good. Hold it up so they can see it. Watch how Diamond does it. That's very pretty. And don't do it in the middle because you haven't practiced yet. So now it will get too thin. So what you're going to do, because I know where you're going with that, if you want to do the fancy magician thing, saw that. And then it's going to stretch too much, so you're just going to do it like that. And don't try to get a circle. Now the dough we have here is a little different than the one that you guys have. We sort of tricked you. I wanted you to see what it's supposed to look like, so I actually pulled out dough I made yesterday. Your dough hasn't rested more than 30 minutes, so it's going to be not quite as stretchy. So don't feel bad if your pizza is not as big as this. So stretch it out as far as you can without poking a hole in it. Then you're going to put a little bit of cornmeal either on a paddle or on foil or on the back of a baking sheet. And you're going to, let's put yours on here. We'll put yours in first. Now while it sits here, you're going to try to stretch it a little bit more. Just sort of stretch. And once it gets too thin, just put it down and take the other side. There we go. So you see, yours is going to be not quite as stretchy because it's only rested for 30 minutes. If you make this again, let it sit overnight and it'll be a little stretchier like this. Now put it down on your foil and let me know when you have your pizza dough on foil. So, can you see diamonds? Hold yours up. Make sure you see diamonds. Yours might not be that big. Don't worry if it's not a circle. But stretch it out on top of the cornmeal. And then you're going to get your sauce. That looks nice. This is a little thicker. We could probably pull it out a little bit there.
I'm gonna taste this
You're
again.
going to pull, you know, these sprigs of thyme that we're cooking in your sauce? I think I put 4 in mine. I'm going to take a sprig. Three. Okay, I put 3 in. All right. Now, if your sauce is still too chunky for you, if it didn't cook down, it's pretty smooth, but you have 2 choices. You can either mush it up with a fork or a potato masher or in a little mini prep food processor, or we have one of these. You have one of these that's like a handheld blender. Either way, mush up your tomatoes. You like it real smooth? All right, you make it real smooth. And you get to use this. It's a lot of fun. Did you get to use this? Did you ever use that at lunch break? No. Somebody used that. I can't remember what we made. All right. All right. Now, I'm going to ask that you do me a favor and go in there. Plug that in under there, an outlet. Being renovated, so it's a little weird. All right. Now the only trick, Diamond's going to show you how to use a handheld blender. These are fun. Maybe you should come over here. Let me put this on. You just want to make sure this stays submerged. So you're going to press the button, but you're not going to lift that up. So take your thumb off. Pull it out. The reason it has to be off is it will spray everywhere. All right, press the button again. Move it a little bit. All right, now do it again. You can raise it up a little, just to make sure it stays under the tomato. Good. Really good. Press that. All right, that's pretty smooth. All right, does that look like it's smooth enough for you? All right. Ooh, that looks good. All right, you need a ladle. All right, so I want to wait for everybody. Is everybody ready to put sauce on their pizza? Is Haley and Jack and Emily, is your pizza sauce smooth enough for you? Is it okay? Is it good? Okay. So, just like you see in the Domino's commercials, you're just gonna.
See you.
Yeah, watch how Diamond does that. Now you don't want too much sauce, because if you weigh your pizza down too much, it will get watery and soggy. And it'll go in the oven very easily.
I gotta go get the.
You could do that today, because this is so glutinous, it's not really cold. Yes. But I can show you one day how to do a deep dish. Get that really cool. That smells good. And you can probably go to the edge if you want. And then once your sauce is on, put your toppings on. Whatever you want. You've got mozzarella, Parmesan. Don't put your basil on till it comes out of the oven. Onions, mushrooms, whatever you want.
After this.
Pepperoni. Ask your mom if she.
Grab the cheese when I finish this. Right there.
Oh, yeah.
On mushrooms.
That smells great.
The onions. You know what I did with the onions? Or you? Oh my God. All right. Yeah. So you'll regret it. And also, when it comes out, you can add more sauce for dipping. So, mushroom roll. All right. All right. So now, why don't we put the onions on and mushrooms on last, because we want the heat. So if you're putting mushrooms and onions on there, I will put them on top so that the heat directly gets them and cooks them. Don't put them on top of the sauce. They'll come out raw. So put on your cheese next. Put on your cheese. So your mom wants. Oh, okay. So go put some cheese on there. Put a little cheese on. And then we'll do your little pepperoni.
Doesn't matter. Strawberries turn out the same. Yeah.
It's certainly a process. And not too much cheese.
Yeah.
Really, but it will not slide off that paddle. Then that would make it look bad, because that's happened to me before.
450, I'll put them in.
Get the cheese on the side. Pepperoni, turkey pepperoni going. So Haley, you're a vegan this week, so what are you going to put on yours? You're going to put the sauce, you're going to put the Daya mozzarella.
So I want to put the vegan mozzarella and nutritional yeast.
Oh, the nutritional yeast, that's wonderful. That's very good stuff. You like that?
Yes.
Oh, good. That's really good. Jack, that's very good. Add some more cheese on the side before you and then add the pepperoni. Jack and Emily, what are you putting on?
Just cheese.
Just cheese?
Mozzarella.
Okay.
Diamond's
Things.
going to put a little pepperoni, turkey pepperoni, and then we're going to finish with onions and mushrooms, and then we're going to pop it in the oven. Is your pizza ready to go? Is it ready to put in the oven?
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on one second. I'll show you how to do that. Let's get that on there, because I don't want their pizza crust to stick.
Mom, do we do on hard one?
No. And let's put the mushroom in a lot of water. So let's
Right into the onions.
onions on.
Apart a little bit,
Okay.
so they're not in like a big chunk.
You know how I feel about onions, like a little dabble to you.
Well, putting yours.
How are you gonna do
Separate them. Go back in. See, separate them. Separate them. So you see how they're like kind of chunky? Because they're
All right. All right. We're going to put ours in the oven. So I want you to be careful of one thing. When you put it in the oven, you don't want it to stick. So if you have trouble getting your dough off, you know, you're supposed to shove it off, but if it doesn't slide off, you can use some spatulas or pancake turners. And you can also, if you have it on foil, you can just pick up the foil and put it in, okay? All right, I'm gonna go put this in for Diamond. Come on over here, Diamond.
okay. Ready? We're just gonna put it in on this.
Bye. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
It's really hot in there.
All right.
Put it on.
So what?
Put it on mute. And I'm gonna tell everyone you did it. So I had trouble getting my pizza off my paddle too. So I might not have had enough cornmeal on here, it's stuck. So I think we're gonna have a kidney-shaped pizza, which will be just as good. All right, I'm gonna do mine real fast. Let's see. Actually, I'm gonna let mine sit and rest. All right. So now let's get our salads into bowls. It should take about 10 minutes for the pizza. So I'm gonna clear a few things off right here. So that we can sit down together. And then they can get to know you and your mom a little bit better. All right. All right. I'm going to get some salad bowls ready for Diamond and her mom. We can start on our salad while we wait for the pizza. There you go. Go ahead and dish some of that up for your mom. These are so amazing. I know, they're on that.
She has plates that like have, they're just, where, I mean, can I come back here?
Oh, we were eating our pizza. All right, we'll need that later. Maybe use both of these if you want. I'm sorry. And the forks. You guys have your salads ready? Good. Oh, good. Does it have enough salt in it? She's got a good palate. She knows when things taste good.
Yours is like one of the leaves, is like spiky. I don't know what.
Is it peppery spicy or citrusy spicy? That might be the arugula. The sorrel's in there. If you look for the leaf, that's more of a citrus flavor. So Diamond can tell us some of the different flavors in some of the herbs we brought in. We have some sorrel, which is sort of a citrusy flavor, sort of like basil, but more citrusy. And can you taste the herbs, the rosemary and the, maybe not so much, it's a little subtle. And then there's a little basil in there you might taste. And she probably tastes the arugula. She picked some arugula out of the garden and put it in there. Do you guys all have your pizzas in there? Oh, good. All right. So Diamond, what made you think of pizza for your mom? Tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, pizza is the first thing that I was taught making because usually you should just make English muffins like sit over and stuff. It's just like a really quick snack. It's not like quick, like it tastes really good.
I'm ready for that.
When you go out, where's your favorite place to eat?
But we don't usually go to Pizza Hut and we used to go like
Reminds me of the 70s. Domino's, you know, that certain flavor. It's like a packaged flavor. It's like Taco Bell. It's like it's a Taco Bell flavor, you know, very nostalgic. Were you born in New Jersey? Are you a Jersey girl?
Where were you born at in Lakewood? Say it louder. Say that goes where you were born at. Lakewood, New Jersey. At your old house. At your old house. You were born at home by the front door.
Oh, that's so
yes,
cool.
Yes. Oh, literally by the front door.
Were you just like
fall
fall
out?
out?
I was leaving out. So I was on my way to go to the hospital. But Diamond had other friends decided to come right at the front door.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my hell.
That's amazing. Did you guys hear that? That's an amazing story. So who helped deliver the baby?
My friend and her father, he called 911 because he was freaking out that we weren't at the hospital.
That's an amazing story. So I've heard the taxi cab story. Those are always famous, right?
That's what I was scared of. We were on our way to go to the car, but I just saw a baby story where someone had one in a car. And in my head, I said, nope, this is gonna happen here. And I was ready. They weren't ready, but I was ready.
Oh my gosh. And so you got to the front porch and just sat down?
Didn't even step out of the front door. Literally, when the paramedics came, they had to step over me to come in the house.
Oh my gosh.
The day after her baby shower. So the living room was filled with baby stuff.
That's an amazing story. It's also convenient because you didn't have to spend the night in the hospital.
We still had to. We had to go just to make sure everything was okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
So one night and then you were back.
Yeah, because they don't keep you there anymore.
I bet everyone was like, "Oh wow, she had the baby." Yeah. Yeah, everybody.
Was anybody else born on the front porch of their house? That's an amazing story.
Tell the story of Aesop.
Oh,
You were the second one that were born at home, but I had another one that was at home too.
I always wanted to have a baby. I thought it would be so much fun.
On your front porch.
Well, you know, preferably in bed with pillows. Babies don't wait. They have a mind of their own. So I'm going to check the pizza. Open the door to your pizza. It's probably not done. But if it's too brown on one side, you can always move it around. You don't want to take it out till the crust is brown and the cheese is melted. Probably got another 5 minutes to go. So I don't know about your pizza, but hers has got probably another 4 or 5 minutes to go. So,
Everybody's enjoying their salads.
yeah. We're doing it like they do in
When we were eating it first.
No, eat it last.
We eat it first here.
Eat it first here, that's right. Eat it last, yeah.
That's funny.
Exactly, we do it early.
So if you're at a restaurant, you would have the main course first and then. Okay.
Yeah, it seems a little backward. Kind of makes sense. But so Haley, what are you gonna make for us? You're gonna make something, and then Jack and Emily are gonna make something. Haley, what are you gonna make?
I'm gonna make sweet potato black bean burgers.
That'll be really, really good. Jack and Emily, what are you gonna? I don't think you hear. They're on mute. Oh, she's so cute. Hi, Emily. What are you and Jack gonna make?
We're gonna make a Thai dish.
You're gonna make Thai food?
Yeah.
That'll be a lot of fun. Do you like spicy food?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Yeah, Katie likes spicy food, and I know Diamond likes spicy food. So that'll be great. So Diamond, why did you pick your mom as your hero?
Because she's always there.
What?
On the front porch. And I'm your chauffeur.
That is love.
I take you to dance, gymnastics, everywhere. I take you everywhere.
Oh, gosh. Yeah,
And we have plenty of play dates. And plenty of sleepovers.
she does it all.
Yes, yes. We were doing yoga at the beach the other day.
Well,
I
that's
think
nice.
Diamond was trying to kill me though. I was a little sore. Because he was in all these kind of poses that I really couldn't do, but it was fun.
Yoga is fun.
Yeah. We got up at 6 o'clock in the morning and did that.
Was it like a sunrise thing?
So we haven't experienced that yet because someone doesn't want to get out to bed. And so far, what I'm seeing, I think sunrise is around 5:26ish.
Hope that's
Haven't got her out to bed yet.
I think that's
Yeah.
I got it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try it with you one day. I'll wake you up and say, let's go.
It's a great way to start the day. All right, it's time to look at our pizzas and see if they're done. Because what we're gonna do, once your pizzas are done, you know, it's not feasible to eat dinner together. But before we go, I want everybody to show everybody else their pizza and take a photo of their pizza so that we can send it to lunch. Maybe we'll put it together in a collage format so people can see their pizzas. So go on over to your oven and look inside, see what shape it's in. Remember, the crust has to be brown, and the cheese has to be melty and a little bit bubbly. Maybe a little golden brown on top, okay?
We're not ready. We need to I would say 5 more minutes because ours got kind of oblong.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, we've got 5 minutes.
Emily's is all done.
Oh, let's see. Wait, let me click on this. Oh, that's wonderful.
We had to use English muffins because the dough was not ready, but it's melted and toasted.
Karen,
Yes.
tomorrow I'll drop off a mound of dough that's been resting overnight, and they'll have a complete dough to work with. And then and they can make one with you tomorrow, and they'll get an idea what the consistency is supposed to be like.
Okay. Thank
Okay?
you.
Yeah, absolutely. That looks good. Kara, before they eat it, Kara, make sure you take a photo of it with them in it.
Oh, okay. I'll do that. Can I
Yeah.
have one?
Malia, how's yours doing?
So I have the world's slowest oven, so my oven's still preheating.
Is it on 450?
It is, but it's no, it's not 450 yet. It's nowhere close to 400, so no worries.
Oh, okay.
It's really.
All right. So I'm going to take ours out and just to show everybody what it looks like. And then we'll probably sign off because some pizzas are still in the oven. Just remember, when you take it out, even you, Malia, take a photo of your pizza with you in it and your mom if you want, and then send it to Malia so that we can create a collage of the evening of all your pizzas. Wait for 1 second though before you go so I can show you our pizza.
I'm gonna get a picture with you.
Wow, it should. And it might take a few more minutes, but I want to show them this. Isn't that beautiful? Is that yours or mine?
How does it taste, Jack and Emily?
So figure out which one smells like mine and then show them the sourdough.
Is it good?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, yours really rose. Show them the one that you made.
Oh, I'm gonna show you the one, the sourdough that I made. Look how much you brought. Nice. I don't know if you guys can see it like fully, but it. Yeah.
It smells really fabulous. Oh, no. Homemade dough is really cool for that reason. Why don't you pick it up and take it over there? I don't think it's too hot here. Use 2 hands and take it over to the camera for them to see. So that's, let me hold it. Can you
That
guys,
looks delicious.
that look good?
Yes, good job, Diamond.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so guys, in a couple of weeks, we're gonna have another young chef with their hero, and I don't know, Malia knows who it's gonna be in 2 weeks. Do you know Malia yet, or you can tell us later?
So how I've been selecting, it's whoever submits their recipe next. So we have the 2 participants who aren't able to join tonight. They submitted their grandma's recipe for cookies. But I don't know if you want to do 2 things or you want to just do 1 recipe. It's up to you, chef.
It depends on the recipe, so maybe we'll look at it and decide, and we'll let them know. You know,
Okay.
sometime. Okay.
So it might be grandma's cookies. If it's not grandma's cookies next, then it's Haley's sweet potato black bean burger, right?
That was really fabulous. All right. Looking forward to it. It was nice to see all of you. It was great to see you, Haley, Jack, and Emily. And it was wonderful cooking with Diamond. I had a really great time. So I hope I get to cook with all of you. Oh, wait. Before you go, when you take your pizza out, don't forget to put the basil on it. Put some basil on it.
You put it on afterwards.
And we will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
See you in 2 weeks.
Bye, thanks.
Bye.
Oh, you got one of those too? I haven't both noses. My nose keep running. It was
Of
bleeding for
the
like 45 minutes.
nostril.
I haven't had one like that in a while.